So come on in, take a sip, let's wind down. It's Monday, and boy, is it ever a Monday. It is sunny and bright outside, but gosh, it's cold. It's one of those days that fools you when you look out the window. You step out and you're like, wow, that's really cold. But I do have a bit of warmth in my life, right at about 62 degrees Fahrenheit, though, so not too terribly warm. But this is a 2019 Perelada. And this is from the Finques vineyard, and I think this is remarkable. I've been nosing it. I've yet to put it on the palate, but it's, we're talking oak and vanilla, lots of plum, blackberry, like those black fruits on this one. And of course, on the palate, it's plum. It's black fruits. It is just divine. I'd say it's slightly bolder, perhaps somewhere in between smooth and tannic. It's definitely a dry wine, and I would put it right in the middle of the spectrum when it comes to soft versus acidic. This is a beautiful wine, and you're really not limited at all with what you want to pair with it as far as food is concerned. But this is one of those that has such a sweet aroma on the nose here that I think be really good with some spicy food. I think that would be where this really makes it stand. Very beautiful wine. And I know a lot of you got a kick out of this, but I do. I kind of sometimes choose wines by the labels, and I love this label, but I did not choose it. This was chosen by my Shotzi, so be that as it may. On this day in history, in 1951, the American astronomer Seth Barnes Nicholson discovers Ananka. All right, this is the 12th moon of Jupiter from the Mount Wilson Observatory in Los Angeles County, California. There's a lot of stuff that happened on this day in history, but this one kind of stood out to me because we're often talking about the things we should probably memorize, like the Greek gods, the Roman gods, right? Hebrew alphabet, the Greek alphabet, so on and so forth, these sorts of things. Where it gets really crazy is when you try to memorize like Roman rulers, right? That's a long list there. Or popes. It's been a lot of popes. So, it's like you just kind of start working through the little tricks, right? If you've got like 4 letters, it's probably going to be Leo the First or Leo the Fifth or something like that, right? You kind of work out what it can be. That's the beauty of an American crossword, is you really do have lots of areas to kind of decide from the various intersections from the acrosses and the downs. But I suggest that we just study the 4 Galilean moons of Jupiter, right? Those would be a good place to start. They're the big ones, and that's probably a good place to start. Any more than that, take it slow, right? So to speak. And our dictionary.com word of the day is ethereal, and I like the word because I think it gets misused so much. I think a lot of times people will use this to talk about stuff that's maybe arcana or hard to understand, or maybe a little out there, the numinous of among us. But really, it's just extremely delicate and refined. That's what that means, ethereal. So it's one of those great words that we often misuse. And so I thought, this is a good one. Let's run with this one today, right? So we got a Monday grid. Let's hop into it here. I'll straighten my posture and try to lead from the front. Try to be a good example. So we have a brand new a debut constructor here, Brian Keller. The name of the headline here is Trading Punches. Subhead says Brian Keller makes his New York Times Crossword debut. So this is exciting stuff. Let's hop into our grid and see what we've got. I'm always excited to see new constructors. Just love to see that. So, division of a bowling game. Well, I don't really know much about bowling. I just know that I've always wished that my bowling score, I always wished that my golf score were as bad as my bowling score, I should just say. I don't know. I keep thinking of like the division symbol that when you have a spare, but I think we've also got splits too. I don't know. Bank backing group since 1933. I don't know why I felt compelled to throw the and in there, but let's go with the FDIC on this one. So maybe a frame. We'll see what we got there. Very well off could be rich. So we got a really nice little thing going here so far. Nothing too crazy. Touch and go could be dicey. Good Monday fare, really. Berry, that's a superfood. And I just don't know anything about acai berries. Do they have sugar in them? Because then I probably wouldn't eat them, you know? I don't know. Purchased souvenirs informally could be merch. And words of empathy. Kind of cropping into the puzzles of late as not. I care. So makeup set containing shadow and mascara. Wouldn't know where to begin with that. Fast food alternative to a nugget. I'm assuming a chicken tender. And I guess this is an eye kit. An eye kit. Oh. I don't know that. I don't believe I would have known what that was if you'd asked me before this clue answer combination. Do you know what an eye kit is? Tea bags and cold cucumber slices? I don't know. What, you know? Hyphenated brand of fruit flavored drinks. Guess we're talking about high C. You know, I never cared for, that's a really good one. I never cared for stuff like High C or Kool-Aid or anything like that when I was a kid. You know what really got me perked up? Coffee and sweet tea. I liked sweet tea as a child. Mostly I liked Coca-Cola. To be honest with you, I liked Diet Coke very early on. I don't even know why. Maybe it's all we had in the house. I don't know. But I got to where that's what I ordered. And it wasn't for any other reason but that I just like the taste, I guess, right? I don't know. It's really weird. Amazon speaker could be Echo. And headwear usually worn metaphorically. I don't know. Popular business magazine could be Ink. And so I think this could be a thinking cap. I mean, it is in the back of my mind, and I don't know why I don't just take a gamble. It's a Monday, so why not, right? Tennis star Djokovic, I think that's Novak. Have to check it, of course. I'm not sure. Hunky Dory could be A-OK, and Walgreens rival could be CVS. This is CVS. And Castaway's call for help would be SOS. And Donkey Kong is making an appearance today. That's kind of fun. What's this long one here? Coach of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. And I think that's Phil Jackson. Yeah, I think so. I'm not a big sports nut, you know? I'm just not. I like it. I read on it. I mean, I do read up. I mean, the sports section of, well, it used to be the paper I always read. Now it's what's in my Google News feed or what have you. But yeah, I think it's important to follow. But I don't really sit around watching games unless my team, the TCU Horned Frogs, are in a bowl game or something. And I don't really watch much of it, you know. But I do watch a lot of tennis. That's true. Beach volleyball I like. So military mind game for short. I think this would be a psyop. I almost picked that MOS after my first deployment. Before I went to the captain's career course in the Army, I thought about psyops. I thought it would be kind of a fun thing to do, but I just stuck with maneuver. Why not? I'm pretty good at that, I suppose. 3, 4, or 5 for a golf hole could be par. And let's see. So covered with water could be a wash. A wash, right? Yeah. Free souvenirs. How about a little swag? Diameters halved. Maybe radii. And Egyptian god of the underworld, and I think that's Osiris. Russ. I don't remember if it's a Y or a U here, so you'll have to forgive me. Soldier who can stand at attention indefinitely, so I think this could be an I, so I'm wrong on both ends, so maybe a G.I. Joe. Makes sense to me. Feel me? Yeah, dig. You go, girl. Okay, got it. I'm liking it. I'm always about the girl wins. I think they're great. Fertilization targets could be ova. Loss prevention command. Halt right there. I saw you stuff that jacket into your pants or something. No, I guess it's supposed to be a save all. And laser pointer or rubber mouse. Okay, I mentioned maybe a cat toy. Why not? Singer Love It could be Lyle. It's one of my Shotzi's favorite performers. Fertile soil could be loam. That's a really good wine. I'm really liking the wine. The wine's good. Word after pen, pet, or proper. How about a name? And why do I automatically go to a British accent when I say the word proper? Because everything's proper there, or it's not proper. I mean, a proper cup of tea. I'm not sure what a proper cup is, right? But I want a proper cup. A proper cuppa. What? So, yeah, but it just feels that way. So, Hallmark products or hint to what to find in the circled squares. So, got a high 10, high king, high jack. Well, high 10, high king, high jack. Okay, greeting cards. Very nice. In today's, I don't know if it was today's, is it Strands? I play that every now and then. I can't do the crossword anymore till I get home, so what are you going to do, right? But yeah, I there was something doing, it was in the last couple of days, it had to do with the, Hit the Deck, I think is the name of it. It was good stuff, actually. Sweet drink could be a nectar. A nectar. What in tarnation you wearing around your neck? My nectar. Let's see. Without precedent could be new. And then a voluntarily relinquish as a right could be to waive your rights. Why would you do that? Really? Endangered underwater ecosystem would be a reef. And send to a specialist perhaps, maybe, or say, maybe to refer. And trade punches could be to spar. Vegan skin products brand would be a Veda. I did love that stuff back in the day. Secure with ropes, maybe tie up. I can't take your call right now. I'm all tied up. Hope that's a metaphor. Jets or sharks not found in the NHL would be maybe a gang. I played Lieutenant Shrank. That was not a fun role to play. He was mean and a jerk and horrible to people. But I was good at it. People would come out afterwards and greet us in the lobby of the theater and tell me, man, I really hated you. I'm like, well, I guess it's a compliment, huh? Yeah, awful. Reckless. How about rash? Making rash decisions here. With 10 across, alternative to a fist bump. And you see this blank GH here. I'm thinking this is going to be high, and that's going to be a 5 up there. And I'm willing to wager on it. I'm willing to wager. longtime film rating organization, and I think that's the MP2A. I think it's the MPA. I don't know. Luau pace could be poi. Seeming eternities could be eons. And oh, it's my favorite, my Shotzi's favorite word in the world. Unimpressed reaction could be meh. She hates it. Encouraging start could be atta. Slanted type could be italics. Okay, so let's go up here and see if, let's just finish in this corner and see if we can get it done. So I think we got our high five here. Feeling pretty confident about that. And so, high five. I mean, I'm liking it. High five card. This isn't awkward at all. Id's counterpart, so maybe the ego. And Uber cost could be a fare, and caramel-filled candy would be a Rolo, I'm assuming. Button on a remote could be the volume, and awestruck could be Agog, and composer Stravinsky, Igor, very nice. And, all right, let's see, shucks, only stronger, got an N at the end. I'm going to go with damn. Damn, got it. Bog down could be a Meyer. Condo could be a unit. Roomba target could be dust. I mean, you know, our little Roomba, we nicknamed him Booby. That's B-U-B-I. It's German for boy. It's really, it's maybe German Yiddish for boy, but I know my grandmother called me Booby all the time. And as a result, I got really good at fighting because my friends would hear it and they didn't want to call me that too. And it didn't work. So, run out of clothes. Oh, you see it in there? We got ourselves a streak. Okay, now it reminds me of the Ray Stevens song. If you never heard, they call him the streak or whatever it's called. Like, it's kind of a goofy song, but it was really funny in the 1970s. Pi a la mode. Very cool. And Twilight and the Hunger Games genre. I guess we're talking about teen lit. Opening state could be an ante. It's kind of a tie in there with the rest of our cards here. So I guess teen lit. I don't think I would have ever really thought of it as teen lit. I never saw them in their book form. I mean, we just only saw them in like movies, you know. True Blood. That was something you watched on HBO, if I remember correctly. So.
There's books first, though.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I figured.
I don't call True Blood teen.
Yeah, I see. I don't know. Shotzi doesn't see True Blood as teen lit. It's pretty heavy stuff, but I've never read it. Maybe the written version is much nicer or something. Maybe it's a little less ugly. I don't know. Copenhageners, for example, as an example, would be Danes. Homes for Plains tribes. You know, I was just thinking these are TPs, and I guess I could have put that in. I don't know why I didn't, actually. 4.0s are excellent ones, perhaps GPAs. I've never held one, so I wouldn't know. Stringed instrument that's often as tall as its seated musician, and that would be a cello, I'm assuming. And then, you know, but it might be taller than me if I'm sitting. I don't know, I've never played the cello. Kind of want to learn. I don't want to buy one. Yeah, they're expensive. I mean, gosh. Photo ops could be our media events, and man of morals. Oh, really? Are we talking about Aesop? Okay. I thought he was a man of fables. Let's see. Schedule opening could be a slot. And exams for high school softs and juniors could be PSATs. A dance or a dip could be salsa. Let's see. I don't know. Wasn't really paying attention. Let's just see if we fat fingered something, because I'm clueless. How did we do Bob? We got lucky. I think we got lucky on this one. Bob, good job, Bob. Not calling me out. Yeah, so we had a high five here, and we got the high 10, we got the high king, a high jack. Yeah, it's this is a standard. This is what you would expect from a Monday. Absolutely. Brian Keller, very well done. Very well done. Yeah, super, really. I need to really take a stab at constructing a Monday or a Tuesday grid. I just gonna have to try it. But all in all, this is a good one. And if you've got friends or family who are just getting into this this odd little habit of ours, then why don't you give them a recommendation for today's grid? It seems like a pretty good one. And if you're like me, you can add 3 people to your subscription. So that maybe be a nice present for the holidays. Yom Kippur is coming up on Thursday. That's not really much of a giving holiday, but you got Hanukkah and Christmas right around the corner. So there you go, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. Maybe knock that out. Let's bring down our Vanier Dadu and we'll let our class out as if it's a class. Really enjoyed the comments overnight. I had a really fun time yesterday having an actual studio audience. It was pretty crazy. And those were some energetic young women there. I tell you what, it was funny, and I thought it was great. So nice to have everybody here. Until we see you next time, auf Wiedersehen, arrivederci, au revoir, and que tengas un lindo días. Be nice to strangers. Be especially nice to those with foreign accents. They speak more than one language. They speak more than one language, and that's kind of a cool thing, right? We should probably admire that about people. It also takes a lot of guts to move to a new place and set up shop. But like we always say, right? There were many times in life where Shotzi and I had zero money, but we were never poor. It's all in the attitude. Be well out there, and we'll see you tomorrow for the Tuesday grid. Cheers.